طيب, question is, can women who are menstruating make dhikr, the dhikr in the morning and in the evening? It's permissible for them to make dhikr. And those ulama who say that menstruating women are allowed to recite the Quran, this is one of their proofs that they use. And that is, there are many adhkar which include verses from the Quran. Ala kulli hal, whether it's this opinion or that, they're allowed to make the dhikr, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and they should make the dhikr. And one of the problems of that view is, you're telling a woman, for hypothetical reasons, one may say, 7 days out of every month, be far from Allah. You can't come into the masjid and listen to a lecture. You can't listen to a lecture at home either, because I don't want you to listen to a lecture in the house. Some brothers, they do. It's the reality. Abdul Qawi says, keep your wife off what? HadithDisciple. Khalas. Tayyib. So they can't read the Quran, they can't come to the masjid, they can't make dhikr. That's a whole entire week of just being in no man's land. You have to think about that. Wallahu a'lam. Let alone the fact that what happens to a woman when she's menstruating? Is it just natural blood flow? Or does she have physical pain and emotional disturbance, or how she's feeling, PMS, whatever you want to call it? That's the greatest time when she needs what? Dhikr and Quran. Wallahu a'lam.
Question from online. Initials MR from Surrey, UK. Sometimes when I lead the prayer or speak or recite in front of a crowd, I feel nervous. Any advice? Also, should a person say Basmala for wudu if he is in the toilet?
Questions from the UK. Feeling nervous and anxious when reciting Quran in front of people. Inshallah ta'ala, practice makes perfect. Keep doing it. If that's what you have to do, if you're an imam or you're in charge of, whatever, al-muhim, just keep doing it. Inshallah, the nervousness will go away. The anxiousness will go away. Bi'idhnillah, ask Allah to remove it. وَحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي. And make sure you have a purpose. As Musa says, يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي. Take the kinks out of my tongue for them to what? Understand what I say. And not just for the purpose of it, okay? Al-muhim, practice makes perfect. Make dua and just keep doing it, and by Allah's permission it will go away. And the best way, or as some people say, the only way to remove fear is to what? Tackle it head on. Just keep doing it, inshallah ta'ala. As far as should you say Bismillah when you're in the toilet, those ulama who say that it's recommended, they say it with your heart or say it before you go into the toilet. And those ulama who say that it's mandatory, they say mention it in the toilet. And mentioning Allah's name is not haram in the bathroom. It's not haram. It says disliked, not necessarily what? Haram. And if it's obligatory to say Bismillah, then you put that which is obligatory before that which is makruh. Wallahu a'lam.
Question is from Ottawa, Canada, initials TM. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. What is the ruling on getting braces?
Questions from Ottawa. What is the ruling on getting braces? Inshallah ta'ala, if it's removing something which is abnormal, something which is unsightly, something which is a major blemish to one's teeth or outward appearance, and the braces don't cause harm, khair, inshallah, there's nothing wrong with that. Bi'idhnillah. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala. It's permissible to do certain types of surgery, as we have explained before, and certain types of adjustments to Allah's natural creation, if it's for that purpose, to remove something which is unsightly, something which is abnormal, something which isn't how it's supposed to be. As long as it's permissible, as long as it's not harmful to the body, so on and so forth. Wallahu alam. What's important is be mindful of insecurities and be mindful of just looking how people want you to look, right? Be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Everyone has insecurities, but we need to be mindful of those things, right? And Allah knows best.
Next question. Initials MR from Surrey, UK. Should a person reply to the salam from a recording, such as when you make a video that is not live and you say salam at the beginning? Is it legislated to reply to the salam?
From the UK, do you give salams to a pre-recording salutation? You don't necessarily have to. The salams that were given were intended to be given to those who were in the presence, all right, at that time. And if you wanted to return the salams, hopefully there's nothing wrong with it. Khayrun bila shar, la yadur. It's good without no negative consequence, nothing bad. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Wallahu alam.
person needs to leave the congregational prayer and the rows are full, how should he do so? Should he make a temporary gap in between people to walk through?
If a person has to leave the congregational prayer and the rows are full, how should he do so? Al-Muhim, walk out, and hopefully the brothers are smart enough to, or just to move over to the right or to the left or wherever the gap is. As long as you're not walking in front of the imam, it's permissible to walk between the rows, whereas the imam is the main sutra for everyone. If that's the questioner is talking about. Wallahu a'lam.
Next question, initials WB from Overland Park, Kansas. Assalamu alaikum, beloved Sheikh Abu Ramla. What is the ruling on interfaith dialogue?
Question from Overland Park, Kansas. What is the ruling on interfaith dialogue? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah bless you. As we've explained before, the Quran clearly affirms da'wah to the Christians and the Jews. And the Quran affirms debating and arguing billati hi ahsan, in the best manner, except for those who do wrong. And there are many verses in which Allah Azza wa Jalla speaks on dialogue and conversation. Qul ta'alaw, say, come. Quran clearly affirms that in several verses. So the general concept of da'wah, debating, having a political debate, a religious debate at a college, at MSA, whatever, is affirmed in the Quran. There's no doubt about that. And what you mean by interfaith dialogue, what's meant by that? What do you mean by that? Okay, the popular term that people always use is a kumbaya, right? They say a kumbaya, we all sit around a campfire and we play a banjo or a guitar or ukulele or whatever, right? And roll some marshmallows and hot dogs. We're Jews, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, we can all get along. No one of knowledge and of sunnah and who values their Islam is going to talk like that. But if you mean that there is a college lecture in which they're asking for a representative of each major religion to come and to speak, that's one thing. Or even to have a debate. Similarities between Judaism and Christianity and Islam. Wahakada. You represent Islam or you debate about Islam. You see what I'm saying to you? Or one may say, in light of the atrocious acts that just took place in New Zealand, in which the Muslims and the Christians who live in one neighborhood all say, listen, we're setting up a patrol, the police, this and that, people who want to do violence against us. How many people they killed in Pittsburgh in a synagogue? They killed all of those Jewish people. And the Muslims, the Jews, they say, listen, we're not here to accept each other's faith, but we are community members. And there are things in which we do agree on as people of religion. We're all religious, Jew, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Sikh. General things, spirituality. So therefore, we should look after each other as neighbors. That's in your book, that's in our book, and that's in what? In his book. Things like that. If that's what you mean, then that's one thing. But if you mean bringing the religions together, and you mean that, there's no wala and there's no bara, that's a different what? Total different story. Wallahu a'lam. خلاص؟ جزاكم الله خيرا. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد.